Hi and welcome to this video on percentages. When we talk about percentages, we write the percentage symbol as a line or two circles, and we generally take this to mean out of 100. And we can express this as a fraction. Also, percentages, fractions and ratios and scale factors are linked together. If we write 100% as a fraction, we write this as 100, and then the denominator is always 100, so that's 100 out of 100, which is 1, which in effect is itself. 50%, this is 50 out of 100. This is 1 over 2 as a fraction. So what we do is we divide the numerator by the denominator. So this would effectively be 5 divided by 10, which is 1 over 2, which is a half. 25%, this becomes 25 over 100, which is a quarter. 75%, this is 75 over 100, which is 3 quarters, and then 20% equals 20 over 100, which is 1/5. Now these are like the common ones that I'd expect you to know. When we want to find the percentage of something, we multiply that something by the fraction or by the decimal. So this half, 50%, would be, as a decimal, would become 0.5, and we multiply the number by 0.5 to get 50%. As a quarter, 25%, 25% is 0.25 as a decimal, and we multiply the number by 0.25 to get 25%. 75% similarly is 0.75, so we'd multiply the number by 0.75 to get 75%. 20% is 0.2, so we'd multiply the number by 0.2 to get 20%. A multiple choice exam, and you wanted to work out percentage of something in your head quickly without a calculator, let's do a quick method of doing that. So to work out a percentage, so what we have to remember, that 100% is itself. When we want 10% of something, we move the decimal point left one place. So for example, 10% of 80, and then for 80 the decimal point is thought to be here, So what we do is we move the decimal point one place left, so it goes there, and then 10% of 80 equals 8. 5% of something will be half of the 10%. So 5% of 80, we know that 10% is 8, so 5% equals half of that, which is 4. So if we know 10%, we can work out 5% very easily. Another one we need to know is 1% of something. We move the decimal point left 2 places. Okay, so here we have 1% of 80. So we have the decimal point here. We move it 2 places to the left and we get 0.8. We want 2% of something. All we have to do then is double that, so 2% of 80 equals 1.6. Now just using these simple steps we can work out quite easily any simple percentage. So if we were asked what is 12% of 80, we know that 12% is 10% plus 2%. So we already worked that out. Our 10% was 8 and our 2% was 1.6. So the answer is 9.6. This is a very easy method to percentage increase and percentage decrease, and it uses scale factors or ratios. We'll do a few different ones. So 1, we have something for £2,000 and VAT is 20%. What's the price? Plus VAT. Okay, so how we set up this ratio is we say the pounds 2,000, this is our 100%, and then we want to know what the new price will be, and the new price is going to be the 100% plus 20, which is 120%. Now we need to set up our scale factor. So first of all we need to know, is the scale factor going to make the number we want bigger or smaller? So because we're adding VAT, it's going to make it bigger. So using our two values that we've got here, we're going to make our scale factor. So bigger, to make something bigger, we have to have the 120 on the top and we have to have the 100 on the bottom. So this will make 1 point something, which will make the number bigger. Then we multiply this by the 2000 and we get 2,400. Okay? Same steps, different type of question. we have a TV priced at £376, and this includes VAT, and then VAT we said was 20%. How much was the TV before tax? Okay, so follow a simple method again. So we have our £376, and our £376 includes the 20%, so that's 120. We want to know before our tax, and before our tax we're going to say it was 100%, because after it was 120. So before tax, we want to know our scale factor. Is it going to make the figure, do we need to make it bigger or smaller? So this scale factor, we want to make it, the final figure, smaller. So we have to have the 120 over the 100 as a ratio like this, 100 over 120. This will give us the scale factor, and we want to multiply this by 376, and this will give us, and we get £313. Okay, let's have a look at another example. Number 3. We have shoes on sale for £63, and they're discounted. This is the discounted price, 30%. So what was the original price? So what was the original price? So because we've taken 30% off, that's the £63 is now just 70%, and our original price was 100%. So do we want to make our final answer larger or smaller than £63? Well, we want to make it large. So our ratio 170 has to go 100 over 70 multiplied by 63, which is £90. When we're doing these percentage increase and percentage decrease questions, pay close attention to what's being asked of you. So if it was 35% of what number is 14? So you'd write 35% is 14, so 35% goes to 14. So the number we want would be the question mark, and the 100% would go here. Now the ratio, or the scale factor, do we want the final answer to be bigger than 14 or smaller than 14? So this is the ratio. We want 35 and 100, but which way round? So we want the number to be bigger, so we have 100 over 35 times 14, and the answer is 40. Okay. What percent of 48 is 12? What percent of 48 is 12? So 48 goes to a percentage, and we know that our 12 is the 100%. So our ratio, do we want it to be bigger or smaller? So we want it to be smaller than 100. Okay, so our 48 over 12 we write as 12 over 48 multiplied by our 100, and we get 25%. A has salary 25% more than B. By what percentage is B's salary less than A? Now this confuses a lot of people. Most people would say 25%, and the answer is no, not 25%. And as an example of that, let's say if salary was 100% more, A salary would not be 100% less. Because 100% less is nothing. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, first of all, we say that A is 125% and B is 100%. Again, we look at our ratio. Should it be higher or lower, or the final? So obviously it's going to be less. So we want 100 over 125 multiplied by 100. And this gives us 80%. So B has 80% and A has 100%. So B's salary is 20% less than A. Okay? And that's your answer. Let's have a look at another version of this question. So if we say A's salary is 50% less than B, what percent is B's salary more than A? Okay, let's write this out again. So we'd have A is 50% less, so A is 50%. B would be the 100%. let's look at our ratio. Do we need to go higher or lower? So B salary is more, so we want to go higher. So our ratio of percentages, or our scale factor, would be 100 over 50 times 100, which is 200%. So B and A. So B salary is 200%. A salary is 100%. So B is 100% more than A.